It's a beautiful spot for the church, right here at the end of the street. So I heard the other day, I was having a conversation with Debbie Bowman, who grew up here in Hapeville. She is the owner of Donahue Lewis Funeral Home. And she was telling me, I was telling her that this was a church for a very short time. It was built in, 1898 or something. I'll have to look it up. And it was only a church for like 16 years. And then it became a residence over there on Chestnut and, I want to say College Street. I always forget. It was on the corner of Chestnut and College. But it was a residence for many decades. And Debbie Bowman told me that the woman who owned it when it was a house, her name was Abby Mann. Abby Mann. And she said, she reminded me of the lady from the Wendy's commercials in the 80s who said, "Where's the beef?" So, sounds like Abby Mann was your typical little old lady, in appearance anyway. The fundraising stone garden is right here. And here's one of the many butterfly art pieces that we have here in town. This one's called Penelope, done by Julia Wenner. It was a Hapeville Main Street public art project, I think, right at the very beginning of the whole Hapeville is a home of the arts thing. Because the city, once we lost the Ford plant, the Ford factory, when it closed in, 2006, I want to say, the city lost a lot of revenue. So they had to rebrand themselves. So that's where Home of the Arts came from. And I asked a local person who was involved in this project, I said, why was it, there are some cities like Chicago where they have the cows that everybody has painted. In other cities, it'll be other animals. Like down in Florida, in one of the southern Florida cities, it's dolphins. They have dolphin statues, sculptures that are painted. I said, how is it that butterflies became the symbol of Hapeville? And she said, well, when we looked up in the catalog at this company, the butterflies were the cheapest ones. And this is somebody who knows. Somebody who knows. And here is the garden. Look at the beautiful shadow. Here's the garden with the fundraising stones that were sold back in the 80s to raise money to help renovate the building. You can look at some of these. Evelyn Smith, Judy Grubbs. She still lives here in town. There we got Joan, Jimmy, Jack, McKee. Memory of Wayne Armistead and Frank Smith. The Sanders family, Earl and Wilma, 1948. Kelly David Destiny Coker. That says 06. That throws me. March 5th, 06. Oh, maybe. I see. Grandma must have been born in 1906. No, that's not true. They must have sold these again to raise money to move it when they brought it over here to this location, because here is another one from 2007. I thought all of these were from the 80s, 1988, but no, some of these were more recent. So they must have revived the program and sold stones. There's another one from 2007. I never noticed that before. 2008, 2007. So they must have sold more at later dates to raise the money to move it, because originally they had to move it and renovate it, and they put it over by the depot. It's so loud here, y'all. We're right on the intersection of of Dogwood, formerly Stewart, and North Central. We've got all kinds of airport trucks going by, lawn services truck, of course the train. Everybody's always beeping because they can't figure out the intersection and who gets to go next. Chuck and Mary Banks. Miriam Hudson. I've been in her house, Perry Hudson's house. Their daughter Jan owns it now, and sometimes I would pet care for them. But you can see all the stones are here that were sold to raise money for that beautiful building. And here's the sundial. I have a picture of Pinky Henry. I think putting the stones in, or at least doing some yard work around the dial back in the day. The actual sundial part of it is gone. Lions Club. Did your family get a stone? Is there one here for your family somewhere? They did a beautiful job renovating the space. I wish I could show you the inside. And then of course, on this side over here is Delta on the other side of this fence. And what I really like is that tree attracts me over there. That tree is huge. And I'm researching now to better understand the transfer of all this land, because this used to all be the Children's Baptist Home from 1899 to 1968. But then when the airport took over, there was an exchange of this land, the airport, back and forth, and how much of it would remain park and how much of it would be the city. And they went back and forth, and I'm researching that right now to better understand it. But I wonder how far we're looking west. So it makes me wonder, and I'm right at the intersection, as I showed you, so it makes me wonder how far that way the Baptist Children's Home goes, because that tree has seen a lot, and I wonder if that was on Baptist Children's Home property. So I'll figure that out eventually. And when they put the church here in the park, they added this carriage house for, it has restrooms, and I've never been in there, but there's a little room in there. So for weddings and events and such, they have this additional building. It's beautiful. This isn't the original Freedom Light, but back in 1980, when the depot was turned into a museum and dedicated, in the depot park right next to it, they put this plaque and a Spirit of Freedom light. It was put there by the Order of the Eastern Star and the Masonic bodies of Hapeville. But of course it was moved as well. But this isn't the original light. And as far as a Freedom Light goes, I think the original one was maybe a gas light. I can't remember. This is just a light bulb. But it's still here. Looks like this either fell or, oh gosh, that's concerning. I wonder where it was originally, or if it was, maybe they, oh, I remember where it was. It was out here on the fence, but I think the fence got hit by a car recently. But they'll put it back up. Look at that little guy up there. Hear him? Create yourselves a great day. Bye-bye.